Welcome everyone to your Sukkot yoga practice. Let's start by unrolling your yoga mat in the sukkah and taking a resting posture on your back, bringing the soles of the feet together. And if you have pillows or blocks, you can bring them right under the tops of the thighs and rest your hands on your womb. And before we close our eyes, just gaze around your beautiful sukkah. Kabbalah teaches that the sukkah is the womb of Hashem. The womb, just like a mother comforts and nurtures her young one. When we enter the sukkah, we are in a warm, divine embrace. Actually, the sukkah also Kabbalistically resembles a divine hug. A hug from our Creator. And we enter the sukkah and we receive faith for the whole year. It says that the schach, the roof of the sukkah, is like the umbilical cord that pours faith down onto us and into us. And the word emunah for faith, the root is em, mother. And that's what the sukkah is. We are entering the womb of Hashem, back to that state of unconditional love, unconditional presence. So as we sit and lay in the sukkah, even if we don't do anything and we just lay here the whole time, we are soaking up and absorbing that emunah. And we'll bring it into the body by resting the hands on the womb. Just like the sukkah is the womb of Hashem, we can visualize within us, within our womb, a sukkah deep within. So let our hands guide us down to this low belly awareness. In yoga, it's known as the Hara Center. And this is our intuitive center, our all-knowingness, our deep wisdom that stems all the way back from our pre-personal selves, back when we were in the womb. So breathe into this space, returning home, guiding the inner being to our place of wisdom. And start to breathe into the hands. Connecting to the sukkah within us. And from here, we'll lift the knees and we'll rotate onto our bellies, coming into Sphinx pose. So bring the forearms parallel towards each other. The knees or the elbows are stacked under the shoulders, and we press the palms down onto this ground, this earth. And as we settle into the skeleture, we bring awareness back to the hara, the sukkah of the low belly. And breathe that air from the low belly all the way around into the lower back. This sukkah actually takes the space of the span of the hips and the whole juiciness of the womb space. Like a river of fluidity and creativity and juiciness, this is our creative selves. It's our receptive center. So allow your awareness to be received by this low belly space. And this is also why in Kabbalah it says the mystics would contemplate their low belly center, because it's a state of deeper consciousness. So breathe that air all around the low belly, the back belly, the golden orbs of the ovaries, the widening of the hips, and feeling the pelvis sink into the ground. Breathe here, closing your eyes and dipping awareness into this space. Empty out this last breath, and then walk the hands all the way up into upward facing dog, opening this low belly center. We reach up through the crown, but we still drop awareness down. And then we're going to open the knees, sink back into child's pose. Walk the fingertips forward and bring awareness around that low back, breathing air into the sacrum, to the back of the pelvis. And being in this womb of the sukkah, we enter our space of security, feeling safe and at home in Hashem's embrace. The sukkah is also known as the clouds of glory. It's the spiritual mists that accompany the Jewish people through the desert. So as we are moving and breathing in the sukkah, we are being held by these clouds of glory. And actually it says the Rebbe of Rushin taught that the clouds of glory were formed by the collective exhales of the Jewish people. So our synchronized shared breaths created this aura, this vapor of protection. So feel held by these spiritual mists. Take a few more deep breaths in child's pose. Letting the air fill up the belly with each inhale, and then send that breath from our inner sukkah through the body. And we'll walk the hands all the way up, bringing our hands behind us, fingertips pointing towards the back body. And inhale, lifting the womb all the way up into stargazer pose, pressing up through the pelvis. In Kabbalah, this space is known as the point of Zion, this womb. So lifting it up into your sukkah space, and then exhaling, sinking the hips, bringing the knees together. Let's tuck the toes and lift into a standing posture. So now that we're standing, just take a moment to gaze around in your sukkah in all directions, moving and breathing in this divine sacred space that we have created. And gazing up to the schach, remembering that Hashem is pouring down faith through the roof of the sukkah. And we'll come to center. We'll bring the right thumb over the left. We'll step that left foot forward, point the right toe behind you, and float your butterfly hands up to the sky. Inhale through the fingertips, but as we inhale, we still drop awareness into our womb, into our inner sukkah space. Lifting through the chest, dropping the back of the heart towards the toes, and exhale, float it back. Other side, left thumb over right. Step the right foot forward, point those left toes back. Inhale the palms upwards. We're lifting through the fingers, but we're drop awareness down over the chest, landing in the low belly, this point of Zion, this sukkah, all-encompassing space of nurture and love. Exhale, float it back. Keep going on each side at your own pace. And it says in the Gemara that people would pilgrimage to Jerusalem on Sukkot to be seen. To be seen. That's what Sukkot is about. It's to be deeply seen by ourselves and by God. Bringing our whole body in the sukkah. We don't just bring one part of the body in. We don't just do a mitzvah with one part of the body, but our whole body is encompassed by this divine mitzvah. Being seen as our full selves, however we show up. Keep going, one more on each side. Beautiful. And we'll come and travel to the top of the mat. We'll bring the hands onto your low sukkah belly. Breathe into the hands. Exhale, right foot steps back. Sink that heel into the mat. Hold the low belly in your hands. Sink a little deeper. Breathe deeply, being deeply seen by yourself and by Hashem. And then step that right foot up. Inhale the hands above us. Exhale the hands onto the low belly. Step that left foot back. Sink the heel down. Hold the low belly. All of the wisdom from all of our past lives and all of our future lives reside here. All of our knowingness from the past and our creativity of the future rests in this powerful womb space. Breathe in and exhale, step to the front of the mat. Now hold the hips, and this time we'll step the right foot back, staying on the ball of that right foot. We'll inhale up to the sky. And exhale, hands float over the heart onto the low belly. And Rabbi Ginsburg teaches that the sukkah represents this Kabbalistic cube of divine presence, that we've created a sacred space in all directions. So imagining this right space to the right of us, this is the sphira, the divine emanation of chesed, of loving kindness. We have to our left the gevura. We have in front of us Tiferes, beauty, balance. And above us, visualize the space above the crown of your head. This is our netzach, victory, endurance. And then bringing awareness below us, below the feet. This is our hod, humility. And then visualizing that whole space behind us, the wall of the back. This is our yesod, our foundation. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the hips, and then step that right foot all the way forward. Inhale, lifting through the fingertips. Exhale over the heart, landing on our hips. And we'll step that left foot back onto the ball of the foot. And again, visualizing those divine emanations to the right of us, to the left, to the front. This divine presence above us, this divine presence below us and behind us. And finding ourselves in the center, surrounded by these clouds of glory, this sacred sanctuary that we have created. Last breath here. And step that left foot to the front. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart, low belly, and coming down and taking a seat. We'll cross the legs, bring the hands onto the knees. And the sukkah also represents or makif, which is surrounding light. We're not just enlivened by divine energy, but it surrounds us and encompasses, envelops us. So let's wrap around the low belly, breathing into all avenues, the side body, the front of the low belly, the left side, and the low back. Our whole womb space, circular, opening, enlivening. And we're wrapping this or makif around us. A space of protection and divine aura. Other way, we'll circle to the right, fueling by your breath. And we'll find that center point, closing the eyes now that we've traveled all the way around in this or makif. Now we find our center, the very center point of the womb. And breathing down into this space. And we'll turn and bring a bolster or a block or even a blanket rolled up or a pillow. And we're going to place it under the back. You can bring the soles of the feet together or long. You can bring a pillow below us. And we'll begin to feel the gentle, subtle opening of the low belly. And open the palms to receive this amuna that's pouring down from the schach, from the sukkah roof. And again, bring awareness back into the hara, into the low belly. And this space is the storehouse of prana, of life force, our life breath. And from here, this wide abidance, all breath flows from. So we'll practice inhaling into the low belly, into the hara center. And exhale, spreading that prana breath all throughout the body. Inhale, filling up the hara. And exhale, letting it spill throughout the whole body. Keep breathing like this. for a few moments. And we'll gently slide the block or bolster or pillow from under the back. Come into a final relaxation pose. Rest the hands on the low belly. Breathe yourself down into your Sukkah space, heightening your interest in breath awareness in this low belly. And the Sukkah is here to teach us the spiritual attribute of presence, just being. And this mitzvah of dwelling in the Sukkah involves our whole body. So starting to invite all parts of ourselves in, even those parts, especially those parts that have been exiled or buried. Summon all of you here. And notice what landscape awaits you in your fertile space. What does your sukkah look like? Where is it placed? Perhaps it's near a vast ocean or a secret bubbling spring, or out in a big open, red, earthy field, maybe in the cobblestones of Jerusalem. Meet your sacred sukkah now, the kingdom of your inner being. And begin to welcome all parts of yourself to join you here. All of you are welcome now, fully arriving now. And pour and shower those parts of you with unconditional love, like a mother loves her child. All of you, even those uncomfortable, dark, ugly parts, all of you is enveloped in this deep presence sukkah. And gently open your eyes, gazing around at this sukkah, this womb, these clouds of glory, this sacred space surrounding you. Take in the beauty, and Sukkot is the source of our joy for the entire year. So breathe a few breaths in of joy, unbridled joy. The joy that comes from a deep knowingness that we are embraced with an unconditional love and kindness from our Creator. And we'll roll the ankles and wrists and gently roll onto the side body and come into a seat. Bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the low belly. And we embrace the timeless teaching that the four kinds on Sukkot represent the parts of our body. The lulav representing our spine, the etrog, our heart, the hadassim, our eyes, and the aravos, our lips. And through bringing them all together, it's a unification of the self. And when we can use all of our attributes and elevate them for a divine purpose, we are unifying ourselves and purifying and unifying the space, the sukkah around us. Blessings, and have a warm, joyous, bountiful Sukkot.